Rastelli's for bringing us delicious premium beef. Well, I want you to take a look at this because this is a ribeye steak, but look, it's a ribeye pork steak. That's right. And what that means for you is it's premium pork, which makes it flavorful. Look at how moist and juicy. So if you thought, oh, I don't know, pork chops have always been very dry, not very flavorful. The difference with a premium pork ribeye steak is exactly what we're going to talk about. So follow me over here because this is the first time this year that we are bringing you Rastelli's 8-ounce premium pork ribeye steaks. You will get an 8 count, and by the way, 8-ounce portions means they are big, probably big enough to share if you'd like. So you'll get 8 of them, and then you're also going to get the seasoned herb butter. So the Tuscan herb butter, you'll get a tub of that included. Our price today is $69.98. Remember, free shipping with all of your gourmet food. There is even an auto delivery offering for you because, again, this is the first day this year we've been able to present them. So I'm going to pop back over. I want to introduce you to Chris Menser, who is joining me by Skype. You may know Chris is part of the Rastelli team. He's a trained chef and restaurateur, and he's going to tell us about a premium pork ribeye steak if you didn't even know that was something that's possible. So, hi, Chris. It's good to see you.
Hi, Leah. How are you?
I'm fantastic, and I'm really excited because, well, first of all, tell us a little bit about pork ribeye steak.
So we all know about the prime rib of beef, right? Which is the king of steaks. Well, the prime rib of pork, which is what this is really the king of pork. It's actually the best seller in pork in the butcher shop. So what we do is we go to our local farmers right across the bridge here in Lancaster, the Amish Dutch country, and we get this Duroc hog, which is the kind of equivalent to the Black Angus of beef. And we get this fresh from them. And what's so special about it is it's the marbling, right, that you're seeing here. It is so well marbled like you get in the Black Angus beef that you don't normally get in the pork. And you're not going to find this at the supermarket because when you go to the supermarket, you see pork chops that are cut from the loin. This is cut from the actual rib. And that's why we call it our premium ribeye pork steak, because it is truly just like you get a piece of prime rib of beef, but actually in the pork version. So you get all that incredible marbling that you would get with the beef in the pork. And I'm going to show you that on the board in a minute. But that's what makes it so special. So if you look at these are our 8-ounce. These are our biggest pork steaks that we actually bring to QVC. And they're really, really special because of that marbling. They cut like butter. As you were just cutting yours, it is actually fork tender. And if you have pork back in the day, you can't cut pork with a fork, right? It just won't happen because there's not enough marbling within the pork, right, to make it so tender like this. And that's what makes this so, so special, is that Duroc hog, which is actually full of marbling. It's coming from the rib section, which has a lot of marbling and a lot of that juicy fat that we look for in a prime product. And what you get is this moist, delicious, melt in your mouth, just incredible flavor that you don't normally get from pork.
Can I tell you? All right, we're going to show everybody. By the way, let me just correct myself too, because you were getting the 8-ounce premium pork steaks. If you want to make up your own herb butter, you can. I think I misspoke and said that we have butter included. We just mixed up a little to top our pork steaks with.
Yeah.
Can I tell you? So I'm going to have the camera come in because the ones that we have here, Chris,
Yep.
I mean, this is for anyone who thought, oh, I don't really know, and what's the difference between that pork chop that maybe was dry and flavorless and starting with premium pork to begin with and getting, as you said, that pork steak that comes from that part that will make it flavorful, but I mean, it's just moist and juicy. And then I sliced up a little bite. It is absolutely delicious. And I want to talk about recipes and also have you talk to us about how it's going to come and your recommendations for how to prepare.
Yeah, so let's go over to the board, because that's kind of where it all starts for us.
Okay.
It always starts at the farm, right? And that's what makes this so special, because we're getting it local and closer to our butcher shop, better we are off, because this comes in fresh. So as beef, we age beef for 28 days when we do most of our beef. This is coming in fresh. So this comes in fresh to the butcher shop, right? We actually clean it. We take the bones off. We take all the fat off. We trim it completely. And then we cut into these beautiful 8-ounce steaks right here. Now, if you look at this, look at the marbling that you see in this pork. And this is why it makes it so special, because you have all that beautiful marbling that we as butchers look for, right? And in normal pork, when it's coming from the loin, which is further away from the rib bone, it's not. You see that pink, beautiful pork at your supermarket, which has no marbling. That's a pork you have to be careful with, because if you overcook it, it's going to be leathery. And that's what a lot of people have experienced when they have pork. They experience that leathery shoe tasting because it doesn't have all that marbling. That marbling will melt when you cook it, and it gives you a beautiful product. And because, Leah, these are so big, these are our 8-ouncers, what I tend to do before I cook them with my wife and I'll cut it in half before I cook it, right? And then I'll season it, and then I'll put it on the grill or in the saute pan, because we'll each have a piece of this. I don't need to eat 8 ounces. My wife doesn't eat 8 ounces. So we usually cut this in half, then I'll cook it from this stage, so that way all gets seared and gets nice and crispy. It gets a nice crust on the whole piece, instead of cutting in half afterwards. Now, if you want to eat a whole piece, eat the whole piece. It's an 8-ounce portion. It's 39 grams of protein. It is going to melt in your mouth. And I can tell you, the first time that you have this pork, you're going to want to eat all 8 ounces. Definitely want to eat all 8 ounces. So some of the stuff that we like to do with this, okay, one of our favorites is a pork cutlet. I think we talk about this all the time. This became such a fan favorite for QVC that we actually took this cutlet and we actually took the pork, we pounded it, we flour, egg, and breadcrumbed it, and we made this beautiful cutlet. Now this is, okay, this is an 8-ounce pork, so this is giant.
Oh,
look how beautiful that is.
That looks good. As a matter of fact, we have a few of those here too. I'm going to take the ones that we simply grilled because, and here's the other thing too, Chris, watching you show us how it starts, where it comes from. For anybody who's ever been looking, in the grocery case and you see, well, I don't know, the gray stuff that you hardly know what it is.
Yes.
That's the difference that you're getting with premium pork ribeye steaks. And so whether you want to grill them, we did, oh, look at this. Oh. I see my friend Justin Sachoka standing by.
I'm always standing by at a food show. Are you kidding me?
How are you, my friend?
How are you, Leah? Nice to see you.
How does a pork ribeye steak sound?
I've never actually had a pork ribeye steak before.
Really?
So no, I've never tried one. But looking at it, you're right. When I get them at the grocery store, I feel like I spend so much time just cutting away like the meat that is either too fatty or it's like a different color. It's just not nearly as thick as this either. And so this, it looks like a steak.
It does, right?
It looks so good.
Oh, it's really good. What do you have coming up?
I'm coming up on QVC 2. I have got an hour of audio and hearing, and then I've actually got 2 hours of Rastelli. So this is just like a sampling of what I've got later on QVC 2 for 2 hours.
Do you want to taste? This one? Yeah, I just sliced it.
That. Let's see. Okay.
Tell me what you think.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that good?
That is so good. It is a burst of flavor.
Right?
That is delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks for sharing. See you in a little bit.
Good to see you. And Chris, that really is what I think people will experience when they get their pork ribeye steaks home, that it's the flavor, that it's moist, that it's tender. And so any of the recipes that you typically like, maybe with your pork chops, I can do with these. And so tell me, how long will they stay in my freezer? What do I need to know about how they come?
Yeah, Leah, they're going to come just like this. They're going to come individually vacuum sealed. That locks in all the freshness, because it's so important about fresh and keeping everything safe. So this will be vacuum sealed. It's going to last in your freezer for literally 12 months from when you get it. So you can take it out of the bag. You can tuck it in any little nook and cranny. But if you can look at this beautiful ribeye, look at the marbling in there.
Yeah.
That's not fat. That's that marbling that's making these so buttery and soft textured and melt in your mouth.
You know what that is? That's flavor. I'm going to get one last
That is.
I'm going to get one last bite.
It really is. It is flavor. And there's just so many things you can do with it too, which we mentioned. I have it here with a little bit of peppers and onions that we do with tacos. You know, we cut it in little strips, so you can do barbecue ribs here, which are just delicious, boneless ribs. So there's so many things. Anything you do with chicken and veal, Leah, you can do with this pork.
This is so good. And it's the first time this year we're presenting it. And not only are we presenting it for the first time this year, but we also have a sale price. So over 500 orders have been placed. The Easy Pay works up to $23.33. And remember, your gourmet food is delivered to your door and the shipping is free. So let us know if you'd like Rastelli's premium pork ribeye steaks. You'll get 8 of them. They're 8-ounce sizes, so they're big enough to share. And we do have auto delivery, which means you can lock in that sale price if you'd like. Chris, my friend, thank you so much for being a part of the show. It was great to see you.
It's great seeing you, Leah.